And today we're going to talk about the most misunderstood part of the golf swing, which is how we pivot the hip. Okay, not doing this or stalling the hip is going to cause you to have a lot of contact or poor connection to the ball and not compress the ball as well as you possibly could. It also helps the club to swing on its correct path. So come on, let's go do it. Now, if you haven't done so already, will you please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel? You're going to help me out and also help other golfers out as well. So what do we mean by pivot of the left hip? Okay, so what we see many golfers misunderstand or don't get quite right is they tend to try and pivot around the left hip. So what I mean by that is the left hip, they tend to stall the left hip and the right hip then works out towards the ball and thrusting the right hip towards the ball, let's say, and they never really quite complete the swing. So the swing might swing off down the target line and so on and so forth. So the left hip itself pushes away, okay? The hips work in straight lines, as I've talked about before. The right hip goes back, the left hip goes back. And the most common one we see is golfers where they don't push this left hip back. So when I'm coming to hit the golf shot, one of the things that you've got to focus on is this hip pushing backwards. Now, when it happens is my left leg is what's pushing the hip back, not my hip being pushed back, let's say. So my left leg is going to do a bit of the work for me. So I can feel this left leg is straightening and is pushing the hip back and up. And that's the feeling that you've got to try to generate when we hit the shot. So we've got to try and practice that as much as possible. Get that feeling of that hip pushing back away from the ball. So I want it further away from the ball than when we start. So you should get that sort of motion where that pushes away and you get that nice feel, okay, of compression on the ball. But that's the motion that I'm looking for. You watch my hip, I swing back, it's pushing away, okay? It's not a rotation. This is where we see golfers get really caught. They've got to rotate the hips. But the problem is with that then, there's the right hip then flies out forward and it goes out towards the ball. And then they get stuck and caught and they can't get the club head back to the ball properly. So they have to reroute it and try to work their way through. So understand that motion first, left hip pushing back this way, not sliding into it. The golf swing isn't a rotation and it's 100% not a slide either. So learning to push that away helps me to complete the swing arc. So what I mean by that is when that hip pushes here, I can push out here, I've got all the room and space in the world to swing the club round to the left. Because remember, the golf swing is a circle, okay? It's not a straight line. So the golf club can swing around me to the left as well. So I can create the right path, all right? Which means I can keep the face square as well. So a great way to practice this, and I do this every single day, and I've done videos on this before, I probably seem like I'm repeating myself, but a great way to practice this is just with one hand. I've got a 9-iron here, okay, so I've got my 9-iron, and what I'm going to do, and I do this every day, I call it calibration of the swing. So I'm just going to stand here, I'm going to literally hold it with one hand. I prefer if you did it with one hand to start with, and you're literally going to place the ball sort of middle of the stance, if not slightly back a bit. I'm going to swing the right arm, but what I'm going to feel here as I do this is as I'm swinging the club through, okay, as the club's coming down, my left hip is going to lead that motion. It's going to work together in sync. So I'm going to feel that left hip pushing back, and that's going to sort of force the swing or the arms to come down and hit the ball. This is going to line everything up and get the sequence correct, and you're going to get a much better compression on the ball. So I'm just trying to combine that movement together. What I don't want is club first, then hip or whatever, or hip first and club. I want everything to feel as though it's sinking together. And start small. When I see people do the one-handed swings, they're up here somewhere, and I'm like, gosh, you're never going to hit it from there. So you just start very, very small, and I'm just doing it very, very minute. So just back, through, okay? Do this every day. You can do it with a wedge, you can do it with everything, but I'm basically just practicing compression, okay? I can feel the ball come off the face really, really nicely when I do this. So learning compression is vital when practicing this. So back and through, okay? Once I've done that enough times, I can then progress up to doing it with both hands. Okay, but again, keeping the swing small, just going back and I'm pushing that through. So I'm feeling that hip push back as the club head comes down, and I'm sequencing it up. So just back and through, okay? I get the compression on the ball and I can feel it, okay? For me, when I do this, I don't know whether about you, let me know in the comments below, but for me, I feel as though the club's got the opportunity to go around me as well to the left. I'm not chasing the line, all right, which we see. So just from here, I can progress up, it's back, I can feel that motion, all right? I get a nice strike on the ball, and it goes really, really well. Now, again, once you've done that a few times, what you can do then is start to progress to a half swing, all right? Now, half swing for me would be L to L, okay, where my arms make an L shape with the club. And I progress it up, and you just progress up and start with a nice even tempo as well. You don't have to go hard and fast. So I'm just going to progress up. So swing back and push it through, okay? That's gone beautifully for me. So the left hip is what's leading this for me. And remember, it's not a rotation, it's a pushing back. So you can just get that nice feel. It just gives you a nice feel of compression on the ball. And it's beautiful when I do this right. Beautiful, okay, that feels lovely. Nice compression on the ball. Ball just goes like a rocket. So it's really important that you work on this left hip. That motion there is really going to help you out. And that's a great way to train it. You should try and do this every single practice session. Start slow, build up. So there you have it, okay? That's the pivot. And remember, the pivot motion isn't a turn, okay? It's a pushing away or a directional push away of the left hip, pushing back, or lead hip, pushing away from the ball, further away from the ball at impact, okay? Just remember that. It's that motion here that's really going to help to tie everything up and coordinate everything up. Now, thank you for watching. Please remember, if you want any more Malaska style systems like this and to show you more, please comment below and let me know what you'd like to see or would like to hear more about. And if you'd like to work with me in person or online, I'm available for online coaching, all right? If you want more info on this and you want some more videos on this, please comment below as well. Let's comment hip. If you comment hip below, I'll send you some more videos, more detailed videos on how this works and how it lines up with liner compression and the lever system. All right. But yeah, go and work on that. Let me know in the comments below how it goes. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.